Have you ever wondered, what if it's not 10 years of hard lessons you need? What if it's one idea, one truth, caught at just the right moment, that could change everything for you? You see, life doesn't always turn around with a loud crash or a lightning bolt. Sometimes it turns with a whisper, a simple message that hits your heart hard enough to wake you up. And here's what I know, you're only ever one decision away from a completely different life. But that decision always starts with a message strong enough and clear enough to move you. Today could be that day for you. This could be the message that stirs something deep inside. Something that says, enough waiting, enough excuses. It's time to rise. But let me warn you, hearing it won't be enough. You'll have to grab it. You'll have to own it. You'll have to move before comfort talks you back into sleep. So stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you may just hear the words that mark the dividing line between who you are and who you were always meant to become. You are the architect, not the victim. Let me start with a truth that might jolt you a little. You are not a victim of your life. You are the architect of it. Now I know it's easier to believe that circumstances or the economy or our childhood or our boss or the government hold the blueprint to our future. But let me tell you, that kind of thinking will steal your destiny faster than any setback ever could. Life hands us the lumber, the nails, the tools, but you decide what you build with them. Some people use the materials of hardship and disappointment to build excuses and smallness. Others, they take the very same materials and build empires of strength, character, and success. Here's the simple distinction. Victims react. Architects create. Victims wait for the perfect conditions. Architects design a way forward, no matter how rough the ground is. Victims blame the rain. Architects build a roof. Victims curse the darkness. Architects light a candle. Now I'm not saying it's easy. No. If it were easy, everyone would be living in palaces of achievement and gardens of fulfillment. But here's the deal. Easy is not the goal. Ownership is. You see your results today, the good, the bad, and the ugly. They're the harvest of seeds you planted yesterday. And tomorrow will grow from the seeds you plant today. And here's the magic. You can change what you plant anytime you decide to. You can say, I'm done planting excuses. I'm done planting procrastination. I'm done watering the weeds of my own fear. Instead, you start planting action. You plant courage. You plant discipline. You plant vision. And when you do, the harvest changes. Not overnight, but over time and inevitably. Now I know you may be thinking, but Jim, you don't know what I've been through. You don't know how many times I've tried and failed. You're right. I don't know your past. But I know the principle, and principles are no respecter of persons. The principle says, you can be a prisoner of your history, or you can be the architect of your destiny. And you choose, every day you choose. By what you think, by what you say, by what you believe. And most importantly, by what you do. Remember this. You can't always control the materials life hands you, but you can always control what you build with them. Someone once told me, Jim, if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. So today, draw up new plans. Big ones, bold ones. Build a mindset that doesn't break under pressure. Lay a foundation of habits that don't crack in the storms. Frame a future with the lumber of daily disciplines. And every time life throws you a setback, grab it, hammer it into place, and keep building. Because you are not a victim. You are the architect, and the life you want is waiting for you to design it, and build it with your own two hands. So let's get to work. Small changes make a big life. You know, one of the greatest lies floating around today is the idea that big success comes from big moves. Not true. Not at all. Success is almost never about some grand, heroic action. It's about the small, quiet disciplines, the ones nobody sees, the ones nobody claps for. It's about doing a few simple things, consistently, over a long period of time. Now let me ask you, isn't that good news? You don't have to move mountains today. You just have to move a small stone, and then another, and then another. Because small disciplines, repeated over time, lead to massive achievements. But small neglects, repeated over time, lead to massive regret. Here's the secret. It's never one hamburger that ruins your health. It's the habit of eating hamburgers every day. It's never one missed workout that wrecks your fitness. It's the habit of skipping day after day. It's never one ignored opportunity that bankrupts your dreams. It's the habit of saying, I'll start tomorrow. You see, failure doesn't show up all at once. It sneaks up on you, a little at a time. So does success. Small steps, daily deposits, tiny choices. That's how you climb mountains. That's how you build fortunes. That's how you live a life worth remembering. Let me give you a simple formula. A few simple disciplines practiced every day, and you'll create a life others only dream of. Now you might say, Jim, it's just a little thing. One more hour on the couch. One more excuse. One more day wasted. But let me tell you, that little thing adds up. Because life responds not to what we do once in a while, but to what we do consistently. Consistency is the unseen builder of all greatness. It's reading 10 pages of a good book every day. It's making one more sales call every day. It's showing kindness to one more person every day. It's saving one more dollar every day. Now these things don't seem like much today, but multiply them over a year, 5 years, 10 years, and suddenly you find yourself standing in a life that others call lucky. But you'll know better. It wasn't luck, it was the accumulation of small, wise decisions. So don't despise the small. Don't get impatient. Don't underestimate the power of one small change made today. You don't plant a seed in the morning and expect a tree by the afternoon. You water it, you nurture it, you trust the process. Here's your challenge. Pick one small thing today, one habit, one decision, one improvement. Maybe it's setting your alarm 30 minutes earlier. Maybe it's putting aside $1 a day. Maybe it's smiling and saying thank you, even when you don't feel like it. Whatever it is, make it small enough to do. Make it significant enough to matter. And then, do it again tomorrow. Because small hinges swing big doors. And small changes, small disciplines, make a big life. It's not about giant leaps, my friend. It's about small steps, walked consistently in the right direction. That's the true path to a life of excellence. And the best time to take the first small step is right now. Direction is more important than speed. Now listen carefully, my friend, because this principle has saved many from a life of frantic frustration. It's not how fast you're moving. It's where you're going that matters. You see, in today's world, everyone seems in a hurry. Rushing here, rushing there, checking the clock, checking the phone, checking the next task. But speed without direction is like a ship with a powerful engine. Heading straight for the rocks, motion doesn't guarantee progress. Activity doesn't guarantee achievement. You can be busy, very busy, and still be busy going nowhere. In fact, some people are in such a rush to climb the ladder of success that they don't even realize the ladder's leaning against the wrong wall. Here's the wisdom. Better to walk slowly toward the right goal than to sprint full speed in the wrong direction. You don't want to wake up 5 years from now, exhausted, worn out, only to realize you've been running hard, but toward a future you never wanted. No. First, you must be sure of your destination. First, you must decide what kind of life you truly want. Then, and only then, should you pick up speed. Direction first, speed second. And don't let the world rush you into frantic living. Just because everyone's running doesn't mean they know where they're going. Sometimes the best thing you can do is slow down. Think, reflect, ask yourself, am I moving toward my goals or away from them? Because time is precious, effort is precious, and both deserve to be invested wisely. Here's the simple formula. Clear vision plus consistent action equals meaningful success. Now don't misunderstand me. Speed has its place. Once you know where you're going, move with purpose, move with energy, move with focus, but never sacrifice your future on the altar of hurry. There's an old saying, it's better to be slow and sure than fast and foolish. And it's true. Small, steady steps, taken every day in the right direction, will always beat chaotic sprints in circles. So here's your challenge. Pause today, just for a moment. Look at the path you're on. Ask yourself, is this leading me toward the life I want? Are my daily habits moving me closer or pulling me further away? And if you find that your direction is off, even by just a little, make the adjustment now. Because a small shift today can mean a completely different future 5 years from now. Remember, it's not how fast you go that counts. It's whether you're moving toward your dreams or drifting from them. Choose your direction wisely. Then, and only then, pick up the pace. That's the formula for living a life worth living. And the best time to get your direction right is right now. Discipline is the shortcut. Now let's talk about something absolutely vital. The bridge between where you are and where you want to be. The real magic ingredient behind every success story you admire. It's called discipline. Discipline, my friend, is the great shortcut. It's the fast track. It's the secret door that most people walk right past. Now I know, it's not the most glamorous word. It's not as exciting as motivation or inspiration, but let me tell you, it's 100 times more powerful. Because motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you growing. Motivation is a spark, discipline is the engine. And without discipline, even the best dreams wither away. Without discipline, even the smartest plans collapse under pressure. Without discipline, even the most talented people live lives of frustration and regret. You see, discipline is doing what you should do, when you should do it. Whether you feel like it or not, that's the real test. Anybody can act when they feel excited. Anybody can show up when the mood is just right. But discipline shows up when you don't feel like it. When the excitement fades, when the obstacles appear, when the couch looks more inviting than the gym. And that's where the battle is won. Not once, not in a grand heroic moment, but day after day, choice after choice, quietly and steadily. You don't need to be extraordinary to build a great life. You just need to be disciplined. Here's the simple truth. Discipline weighs ounces. Regret weighs tons. 1 hour of discipline today can save you years of regret tomorrow. 1 hour of study, one decision to save instead of spend. One workout when you'd rather skip it. One kind word when anger would be easier. All of it adds up, and before long, the small discipline choices you make each day turn into a masterpiece of a life. Now you might say, Jim, it's hard. Of course it's hard. But that's what makes it valuable. Easy things rarely lead to worthwhile rewards. You want an easy life? You'll have a hard future. You want a disciplined life? You'll have an abundant future. Because discipline isn't punishment. It's the highest form of self-respect. When you discipline yourself, you're telling the world, I believe my future is worth protecting. I believe my goals are worth fighting for. I believe my life matters. Here's your challenge. Pick one small area where you've been undisciplined. Just one. And start today, not tomorrow, to practice discipline in that area. Maybe it's setting your alarm and getting up when it rings. No snooze button. Maybe it's putting aside a little money before you spend a dime. Maybe it's reading 10 pages of a good book every day. Start small, but start with seriousness. Because the discipline you develop today becomes the strength you stand on tomorrow. Remember, discipline is the shortcut. It's the road less traveled, but it's the only road that leads to the places worth going. Take that road. Start today. Your future self will thank you for it. Your associations shape your destiny. Now listen close, my friend, because this next idea could change everything faster than almost anything else. You become the average of the people you spend the most time with. That's right. Your income, your attitude, your habits, your expectations, your character, all of it will start to mirror the people you associate with most. Now that's a sobering thought, isn't it? If you hang around people who are negative, cynical, and always finding a reason why it can't be done, soon enough, you'll start thinking and talking just like them. If you surround yourself with complainers, you'll become one. If you spend your time with people who waste their days, chances are you'll waste yours too. But here's the good news. If you spend time with people who are striving, learning, improving, and reaching higher, you'll rise with them. It's automatic. It's inevitable. It's the law of environment. Here's the principle. You cannot soar like an eagle while you're scratching with the turkeys. You can't stay low and expect your life to go high. You want to change your life? One of the fastest ways is to change your associations. Now don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you have to abandon everyone in your life. I'm saying be intentional, be selective, be wise. Ask yourself, who am I letting influence me? Who am I giving my mind, my energy, my dreams to? Because influence is powerful, subtle, but powerful. It's the conversations you hear. It's the attitudes you absorb. It's the standards you unconsciously adopt. So if you want to elevate your life, you must elevate your circle. Find people who lift you up. Find people who challenge you to think bigger. Find people who live with discipline, with optimism, with purpose. Spend time with them. Learn from them. Let their fire ignite your own. And let me tell you, you don't even need to know them personally. Books, podcasts, seminars, courses. You can associate with great minds across the world and across history. That's the beauty of today's world. You can be mentored by anyone if you seek them out. Now here's your challenge. Take inventory of your associations. Look closely. Who's pulling you forward? Who's pulling you down? Who's stretching your vision? Who's shrinking your dreams? Decide today to spend more time with people who embody the future you want, not the past you're trying to leave behind. Because your destiny is not just shaped by your dreams. It's shaped by your surroundings. You show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. Choose wisely, my friend. Choose courageously, because a better life is often just one better association away. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Now, if there's one message I wish I could shout from the rooftops, it's this: work harder on yourself than you do on your job. You see, your job makes you a living, but working on yourself, that makes you a fortune. Your job pays the bills, but working on yourself, that builds the life you truly want. And here's what I discovered early on: if you become more valuable, you get paid more, you get trusted more, you get opportunities you didn't even see coming. Because success is not something you chase, it's something you attract by the person you become. And the person you become is shaped by what you do outside the job. Now, most people spend 40, 50, 60 hours a week working hard on their job, and almost no time working on themselves. They know the company's rules, but not their own dreams. They know how to climb the corporate ladder, but not how to climb the ladder of personal growth. And then they wonder why nothing changes. Listen carefully. You don't get paid for the hour, you get paid for the value you bring to the hour. If you want more, you must become more. More skilled, more disciplined, more courageous, more valuable. So how do you do it? Simple. Read more books that stretch your mind. Attend seminars that challenge your limits. Develop new skills that expand your value. Refine your attitude until it shines brighter than your resume. Work harder on your mindset, harder on your character, harder on your communication, harder on your leadership, harder on your vision for the future. Because if you grow yourself, everything around you starts to grow too. Your relationships get better, your finances improve, your opportunities multiply. Not because the world changed, but because you changed. And remember this: it's not what you get that makes you valuable, it's what you become. You can lose the job, you can lose the house, you can lose the money. But if you've built yourself into a person of value, you can rebuild it all. That's true security. Not what's in your bank account, but what's in your mind, your hands, your heart. Here's your challenge today. Set a goal to work harder on yourself this year than you ever have before. Maybe it's reading one book a month. Maybe it's attending one seminar. Maybe it's learning a new skill. Maybe it's building a new habit. Start somewhere. Start small, but start today. Because the greatest investment you'll ever make is the investment you make in you. Remember, your income seldom exceeds your personal development. Your life rarely rises above your own philosophy. Your future is shaped by the seeds you plant in yourself. Work harder on yourself. Work harder on your dreams. Work harder on your character. And before you know it, you'll find yourself living a life you once only imagined. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. One of the greatest pieces of advice I ever received, and one I love passing on, is simple. So simple, you could miss its power. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. Now, it's natural to want life to be easier. We all feel that temptation. Why can't things just go smoothly? Why can't the obstacles disappear? Why can't the opportunities just fall into my lap? But let me tell you something important. Wishing for easier days won't make you stronger. Easier paths won't sharpen your skills. Easier circumstances won't prepare you for the life you dream about. It's not the easy winds that make the sailor. It's the storms. It's not the flat roads that test the runner. It's the hills. It's not the easy tasks that make the leader. It's the challenges. If you only grow when it's easy, you'll never grow much at all. The key to a better life isn't found in praying for fewer problems. It's found in developing greater strength, greater wisdom, greater resilience. You see, it's not the size of the problem that matters. It's the size of you. A minor challenge can break a small spirit, but even a mountain crumbles before someone who has built enough strength. That's why the goal must be become stronger, become wiser, become better. When you become better, guess what? The problems seem smaller. The difficulties seem more manageable. The obstacles start to look like opportunities. Because now, you're bigger than your problems. Here's the mindset shift. Instead of saying, I wish the economy was better, say I'll become better at navigating it. Instead of saying, I wish people were easier to deal with, say I'll become better at leading and communicating. Instead of saying, I wish making money was easier, say I'll become better at creating value. You change your future by changing yourself, not by waiting for the world to hand you easier conditions. Here's your challenge. Next time you're tempted to complain, stop, catch yourself. Replace the complaint with a commitment. Instead of it's too hard, say I'm going to get stronger. Instead of this isn't fair, say I'm going to outgrow it. Instead of why me, say try me. Because every challenge you overcome, every obstacle you conquer, every hardship you endure, is shaping you into the kind of person who can hold greater success. Remember this, the prize is not found in the comfort zone. The prize is found in the growth zone. So don't pray for less difficulty. Pray for more skill. Don't wish for fewer problems. Wish for more wisdom. And don't wish life was easier. Wish you were better. Because when you get better, everything in your life gets better too. That's how you win. That's how you rise. That's how you change your life. You change your life when you change your philosophy. If you really want to change your life, truly, permanently, there's one place you must start. Change your philosophy. Now when I say philosophy, I'm not talking about complex theories from dusty old textbooks. No. I'm talking about something much simpler and far more powerful. Your personal philosophy is nothing more than the set of ideas you've decided to live by. It's the way you think. It's the way you see the world. It's the way you interpret events, people, money, opportunity, adversity, success, and failure. And here's the truth. Your personal philosophy is the major factor that determines the quality of your life, not your bank account, not your background, not your connections, your philosophy, because your philosophy shapes your attitude. Your attitude shapes your actions, and your actions shape your results. It all flows downhill from what you believe at the very top. Here's a simple formula. Change your thinking, change your decisions, change your results, change your life. It all starts upstairs in your mind. If your philosophy says life is hard and opportunity is rare, guess what? You'll move through life timid, cautious, suspicious, and miss half the chances meant for you. If your philosophy says hard work always pays off, and the best opportunities are created, you'll move with energy, with courage, and with expectation, and open doors most people don't even notice. Here's the question. What's your current philosophy? And more importantly, is it serving you or sabotaging you? You've got to examine it, you've got to challenge it, you've got to upgrade it. Because if you keep living with an outdated philosophy, you'll keep getting outdated results. You can't create a first-class life with third-class thinking. So where do you start? Start by feeding your mind with better ideas. Read books that stretch you. Listen to leaders who challenge you. Hang around people who think bigger, live wiser, act bolder. Expose yourself to new possibilities until the old limits start to break apart. Start telling yourself the truth. Opportunity is everywhere. If you're prepared, wealth is abundant. If you create enough value, success is predictable. If you develop the right habits, the moment your philosophy shifts, your whole life starts to shift. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens daily, decision by decision, adjustment by adjustment. Think of it like turning a ship. One small degree today, and 500 miles down the line, you're on a completely different shore. That's the power of a new philosophy. You don't have to change your boss. You don't have to change the economy. You don't have to change your neighbors. You just have to change yourself. Here's your challenge. Pick one belief today. Just one, that you know has been holding you back. Question it. Challenge it. Replace it with something stronger, truer, and more empowering. Build your life on a better foundation of ideas, and you'll build a better future. One step, one day at a time. Because when you change your philosophy, you change your attitude, you change your choices, you change your results, and ultimately, you change your life. It all starts inside, and the best time to start that shift is today. The miracle of immediate action. Let me tell you something that can create miracles in your life faster than almost anything else. Immediate action. Action, not tomorrow, not next week, not when it feels convenient. Immediate action. Because hesitation is the enemy of progress. Procrastination is the thief of dreams. And the longer you wait to act on a good idea, the colder that idea becomes. You see, life rewards action takers, not intention makers. The world doesn't move for the people who think about getting started. It moves for the people who do. Now don't misunderstand me. Planning is important. Preparation matters. Thinking things through has its place. But there comes a point where more planning, more thinking, more talking becomes an excuse for not moving. And when that moment comes, you've got to act. Because action does something that thinking alone never can. It creates momentum. It's easier to steer a moving ship than one stuck at the dock. It's easier to build on a small victory than to dream about a perfect plan. Even imperfect action beats perfect inaction. Even a small step forward is better than standing still. Now here's something to remember. Action feeds confidence. Confidence feeds more action. And pretty soon you're in a positive cycle of growth. But if you wait and wait and wait, doubt grows, fear grows, excuses grow. The mind will find 100 reasons to stay still if you give it enough time. So don't give it time, give it action. If you have an idea, move on it. If you see an opportunity, step toward it. If you feel the tug to make a change, don't wait for everything to be perfect. Perfection is a lie. Momentum is real. Success doesn't demand that you do everything today. It demands that you do something today. Maybe it's making the call. Maybe it's sending the email. Maybe it's writing the first paragraph. Maybe it's saving the first dollar. Small steps are the seeds of big victories. Here's the formula. Decide quickly. Act immediately. Adjust along the way. You don't need to have it all figured out to get moving. You just need to move. Because progress loves speed, and opportunity loves momentum. Here's your challenge today. Whatever good idea is sitting in your mind right now, take one step toward it before the day ends. Not a giant leap, not a complete overhaul. Just one small, deliberate, courageous step. And tomorrow, take another, and the day after that, another. Pretty soon you'll look back and realize you covered more ground in 30 days of consistent small actions than you did in 3 years of overthinking. Remember this, you can't steer a parked car. You can't improve a plan you never start. So don't just stand there. Don't just wish for change. Be the change. Start, move, act, and watch the miracle of immediate action transform your life. This is your message. Now make it your mission. Well, my friend, you've heard the message. Now the real question is, what will you do with it? Because a message, no matter how powerful, means nothing if it stays just words. It's what you do with what you've heard that makes all the difference. You see, information is easy. Inspiration is exciting. But transformation takes action. It's not enough to be stirred for a moment. It's not enough to nod your head and say, that's right. You must move. You must decide. You must step forward. Because life rewards the doers, not the dreamers. Life opens its treasures to the ones who are willing to pick up the tools and start building the life they were meant to live. Today is your turning point, if you let it be. Not because of me, not because of this message, but because of you. Because you decided that enough is enough. Because you decided that from this moment forward, you will be the architect of your life, not the victim of it. Because you decided that small disciplines, practiced daily, will lead you to a great life. Because you decided that direction matters more than speed. That discipline is the real shortcut. That your associations will lift you or limit you. That working harder on yourself will change everything around you. Because you decided not to wish it was easier, but to wish you were better. And because you now know when you change your philosophy, you change your life. And how do you begin? With action. Immediate, courageous, imperfect action. You won't get it perfect. You don't have to. You just have to get it started. Remember, the journey to the life you dream about begins with a single decision and a single step. And the best time to take that step is right now. Don't just carry this message in your mind. Don't just file it away for later. Make it your mission. Let it drive you. Let it lift you. Let it push you past every excuse and every fear. Because the life you truly want is waiting for the person you are willing to become. And the great news is, that person is already inside you, ready to rise. This is your moment. This is your message. Now make it your mission. And I'll see you at the top.